Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Keep It Zen podcast. I'm your host, Zenadine. And two things really quick before we start. One, please check out Shaun Finn and his single "Picnic in the Sunshine," and check out his Instagram. Those will be the top links in the description below. Just to show some support, because I'm really thankful he came on, and honestly, I wouldn't be able to do it without him. He was so helpful and willing to come on, and it was really interesting. I had a lot of fun doing it. Second of all, unfortunately, due to COVID, I'm going to have to delay the other 9 episodes to come out. Obviously, that's a bit of a bummer, but it was sort of anticipated. I planned to pre-record beforehand, but I was unable to get to the studio, which is okay. It's understandable. And but the thing is, I want to put my best foot forward, so the best way I can do that is by taking the time that needs be to get the perfect product out for all of you. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Please enjoy the show. Leave a like if you like, and comment on what you think you'd like to see as well, because there's a grace period on what improvements can be done and stuff. And yeah, once again, stream picnic in the sunshine. Thank you, Shaun, and yeah, enjoy. Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of season 2, season premiere, of Keep It Zen. I'm your host, Zenadine. Today with me I've got the one and only Shaun Finn.
How's it going, everyone?
He is a singer-songwriter. Professional now?
Debatable. Debatable is what I'd say.
Less debatable than it was before.
Less debatable than the last time we had an interview.
Yeah, no. You've got songs on Spotify and SoundCloud.
Yeah, I'm starting to make money now, which is exciting.
Oh, Jesus, really?
I've made €30.
Jesus.
Off one of them anyway. I'm still waiting on the next one to come through, but I made 30 quid on one.
I mean, still, that's I'm going to have to still do YouTube for 2 years before I start making money.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Sponsorships. I'm gonna come clean. I did the sponsorships for free. It made me look good.
That's at the end of the day, when you work in like this sort of industry, whether it's music or entertainment, you gotta do freebies, and you gotta just to get your name into places. You gotta do apprenticeships and trials and that sort of stuff. Not everything's gonna work out, but one of them will work out eventually. And then even that, just the experience. You gain so much even just doing little things here and there. You get so much experience. I know that's how it's been for me.
Speaking of working out after a bunch of experiments, you had a few songs before you made your debut onto Spotify and stuff.
Yeah.
What made you decide, okay, this is the song, this is the one to debut with?
Yeah, so the first one I released was Live My Life on the 25th of September, I think was the release date. And the reason I went with that was because I was kind of giving up on music altogether, really. I was going to drop out of college and just go full time, and I was really doubting myself. And this was around February, March time. I was just I just wasn't feeling it, and I was writing songs, but I didn't like what I was writing, and I just hadn't found my rhythm yet. I hadn't found what was working for me and what wasn't working for me. And we have a module in the college called songwriting. It was called in first year. It was called songwriting. It's called creative portfolio now, but it's essentially the same thing. And so you got to come in every week, and you got to have something. You got to have a melody. You got to have a lick. You got to have a guitar piece that you want to work on. And me being the procrastinator that I am, didn't do that. And for this particular week, and I watched the Chelsea game because I'm a Chelsea fan. For any of you that don't know. Yeah, so I was there watching the Chelsea game. We won a Champions League game or we lost. I can't remember. It's a sad song, so we probably drew or something. But so yeah, I was just there, and I wrote "Live My Life" in 5 minutes. I was like, right, fine, grand, whatever. I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
And then I came into college the next day, played it, and everyone was like,
"Yo,
when did you write that?" And I was like, "Last night in 5 minutes." And they were like, "That's the best thing you've written."
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh shit, okay." And so we did a gig 2 weeks later. This is just before COVID, and if you go onto my Instagram, you'll see a video of me playing "Live My Life," and even still, I'm not extremely confident playing it because I'd only written it 2 weeks before. I barely knew the lyrics. I was making up half the lyrics on the spot on stage, Still, it was kind of more of a melody and a chorus that I was kind of just rolling along with. Especially the second verse on that performance is quite choppy. But yeah, so then we went in. I went up and played it live, and then I had a better reaction. I had people recording me, and I had in my Instagram DMs, I had mentioned you in the story from people from the sound engineering courses, people that I didn't know who really, really liked the song. I said, okay, this is going somewhere now. This is kind of kicked into gear. And then we played that gig, and about a week later we got put into lockdown. So that was a bit of a bummer, obviously. But I'd written this song that I was really proud of, and I was like, okay, now here, we've went through all that just for one, and that's fine, that's great. And then over the course of lockdown, I think every songwriter or artist of any sort would be the same. That you went in and you wanted to record, you wanted to do something creative, but you couldn't do anything creative because you had nothing to write about. You were just sitting in your gaff eating crisps and bars and watching everything on Netflix. You can't write songs. Well, I couldn't write a song about that. I don't know about everybody else. But I couldn't write songs about that.
I bet you could. If it depends on the way you twist it, right?
Yeah.
And if you do something enough, I feel like you'd be able to look at it in multiple different ways.
If you're a good lyricist, I think.
If
you're a really good lyricist,
or if you're, I don't know, an overthinker, it'll be a more depressing tone, but you can still do it.
Hey, procrastination is the way forward.
Sure.
So maybe it's gonna come next year or after the second lockdown. But I was just fine. I had that song and I had one or two other songs. I had that song Touch that I put up on SoundCloud, and that song was really important for me because it was the first time I wrote a song and said I want to write a song about this, and from start to finish this was a story about what I wanted it to be. And the last track off the upcoming EP is a very similar song in that sense of I wanted to write a song about a particular incident and tell a story start to finish, and I did that. And that's why I think Touch was a really, really important song for me, because if you understand, a lot of my friends straight away said, this is about that. No, for a fact it is, because the way, and I was like, yeah, it is. I'm not going to talk about it now, it's quite depressing. But plus the song's not great as well. But it was an important milestone for me because I'd written the song about what I wanted to write, and it was there, even though it wasn't the best piece of work, it was like a little landmark in my songwriting journey.
In fairness, a lot of people here who are viewing this, Touch was probably their first experience with you.
I'd imagine so.
8 months ago, that was the song that opened up our last episode.
Yeah.
Which got a lot of positive feedback. A few things here being too long. I'll fix that. Never.
Blame me for that.
No. But here's the thing. You just said upcoming EP. Tell me more about it.
Yeah, so I'll tell you, the original release date was supposed to be the 27th of November, which was 2 weeks ago. Because I went in, as I said, so I finished, we got into the lockdown, and once I started going back to work, which was around mid-April, end of April sort of time, I got out, I started doing more. So obviously my mental health was getting a little bit better just because I was out doing stuff. Things were starting to open up again. And like I said before, you can't write songs about nothing. You have to have experiences, and so obviously things started to be experienced again. So I was able to start writing and be a bit more creative again. So I wrote 2 songs then in a very quick, about 2 week space. And then I got a new guitar, and the first song I wrote off the guitar is the next single that's coming out. I absolutely love the next single. I cannot wait for everybody to hear it.
I can't wait either.
And then, I wrote, and I just started writing more and more. I've wrote a lot of songs, now there's a lot of songs nobody's going to hear. It's just me saying to myself, I need to write a song. Doesn't matter if it's good or bad, I just need to write a song. I need to push through it. And I got to July, and I said to myself, these are good songs. I like these songs. I believe in these songs. And I want people to hear them, so I said I want to go record these, and even if it's just for me. So I went off and went into a recording studio. Me and my friend Aaron, who's a drummer who I used to work with in Dunboyne a lot. He's an amazing drummer. You should check him out. Him and his band Ringside Theatre are amazing. Great if you're really into garage rock and indie rock and that sort of stuff. They're amazing. Really great drummer. Yeah, please do.
Yeah,
Aaron's a great guy. So Aaron came in. He played drums on a couple of the tracks on Picnic, which is the latest single, which is already out. He played drums on that. He's playing drums in the next song, and I'm gonna ask him to do drums on one more song as well. So we went in and recorded this in mid to late August. We went and did it in 2 sessions. Aaron was with me for the first session. He wasn't with me for the second session because we'd done all the drums in one session, because it takes ages to set up drums in the studio. And we recorded 5 songs. Live My Life was the first one that we recorded. Then we kind of all just Live My Life was the easiest to record because it's just an acoustic guitar and a vocal. So we just kind of pretty much smashed that out straight away, and everything else was done to a click track, which is for those of you that don't know, it's basically a metronome sort of thing. But that was due to come out on the 20th. That my original date in my head was 27th of November. And I kind of just felt like, Picnic, I released Picnic, and my plan was to release Picnic and then the next week say, hey, I'm releasing an EP on the 27th of November. And then about 2 days before I was about to post it, I was playing Fallen Flowers to somebody, a mentor in my college, and he said, "This is really, really good, but you need to change one or two things here and there to make it go from good to
Great.
brilliant to oh wow, like that's making you sing along, that's making it stand out from the crowd." I said, all right, Grant. So I did it, and then we performed it, and yeah, like it was night and day better. So I want to go and re-record that, and I also want to add a couple more instruments to some of the songs. Like there's one other song where it's just again a vocal and a guitar, and I want to add some piano and bass to it because I'm after getting a lot better at piano and bass playing, especially since it's come back and since I actually have a piano in front of me in the college because I don't have one at home. So I was playing piano a little bit as we got back in. I said, no, I'd like to put a bit of keys on this, thinking it might make it just open up a little bit more, sound a bit better. So yeah, the EP is called Late Replies. I'd imagine by the time that this goes out in around February time, the EP will have either been announced or will already be out. So go stream or pre-save it if you can.
Yeah. So,
it's all a bit up in the air at the moment. Depends when I get the song that's next out is called Fallen Flowers. I guarantee Fallen Flowers will be out by the time.
Definitely be out.
That'll definitely be out, and I'll play it for you a little bit later on, an acoustic version of it.
Oh wow, aren't you all lucky?
So yeah, I'll play an acoustic version of it later on, and I just cannot wait for it. I just need to go and re-record it because I'm buzzing to re-record it. I think I'm going to go re-record it on Wednesday this week.
In terms of songwriting, would you say you're stronger as a songwriter, a singer, or a guitarist? Because clearly guitar is your main instrument. So
yeah, so I definitely say I'm not a strong singer. I wouldn't say. I don't say to myself I'm a singer. I would say to people I write songs, and I'm not the best guitarist. I don't think I'm a bad guitarist. I couldn't walk up and like wow people with my amazing guitar solos, but I've played in bands over the last 4 or 5 years, and I'm a solid rhythm guitarist, and I don't mind. Like, I've never been one to be like, I want to go sing now. When I was in the covers band before, and I said, no, I want to sing these 2 songs because they were 2 songs that I loved, and Grant done that, and it was only this year, and I wasn't in a band, and I was like, right, I have these songs. Like, I would love to have released these as part of a band or under a band name or something like that, but. Excuse me. Yeah, I would have loved to have done something like that, but it's just not right for now. For what I'm doing right now, for the songs I'm writing, it just suits me to kind of do my thing as a songwriter, and maybe one day I might just start writing songs and be a guitarist in a band and somebody else is singing them. But to go into it fully, I'd say I'm the thing I'm best at is probably guitar, then songwriting, then singing, but. Again, like I said, I'm not the strongest guitarist you'll ever meet, but I'm solid enough. Like, I'll be very realistic. I'm a solid guitarist, but not somebody that's gonna make you go, "What the fuck?" I'll do the job. Like, you can hire me and I can do the job for you, no problem. And then my songwriting, I feel, is getting stronger and stronger as I go along. I've started writing songs for the next project that's gonna come out as well.
Oh.
Like, now nothing's set in stone for that
far
yet.
ahead.
But it's a start. Like, it's who knows, I might not even use the songs that I have written so far, but you never know. I'm trying to push myself to write a song every week or every 2 weeks and completely finish it, even if it's good or bad. Like, because what's important is if I can take like a little snippet, like a pre-chorus or a lyric or a verse or a small little melody or some little idea that I had in that and take it to another song when I'm stuck. That's where I'm going to go into my toolbox, kind of.
Oh, so you have a big, what the people usually call like a vault of songs?
Yeah, a vault of songs, kind of. Yeah, I'd say in total I have, of the ones that aren't released, I would say I have about 25 songs written. But the ones that I would let people hear, I'd probably only put it in the maybe 4 or 5 maybe at most. Like, of what I'd consider releasing, and even at that, that's a push. There's only one that I've written so far that I'm like, oh, this is probably going to get released at some stage. Like, I couldn't even guarantee it's a single or if it's just going to be an EP track.
Yeah.
So
you were saying you were part of a few bands over the years. First of all, how many bands would you remember?
I was in the covers band. I was in 3 bands last year.
Last year alone?
Yeah, in 2019 I was in 3 bands. I was in 3 at one stage, and then I kind of faded out. So I was playing piano in one band and I was playing drums in one band as well. Which, if you think I'm a bad piano player, you've not heard me play drums. I'm not a great drummer. But I was playing drums because there was no drummer. So I was there bashing along, and kind of once they got a proper drummer, I was like, right, come on. Let's be realistic here. They'd much better guitar players and singers than me. So I was like, yeah, come here, I knew this day was coming. And then there was just another project that I wasn't writing songs in, that I was just there to play. I was playing keys and playing guitar as well. And the guy who was writing songs just kind of decided to go about his own personal, like he was in the college with us and he decided to leave and go about his own personal business, which is completely his decision. And so then I was left in another band, and me and the guy, the singer of that band, I was playing guitar, and I still know he's a lovely guy. We were seeing things very differently. He wanted to write a certain type of music, I wanted to write a different type of music. So we just agreed, like, it's just better for us to go our separate ways, like, and then before that was in a covers band. That was one of the most fun times of my life. I absolutely loved that band. It was just a band that, from my first year in college in Dunboyne. We didn't even have a name. Everybody was in the chorus. We just jammed together, and it was great fun. I used to absolutely love it, and I wish I could go back to that. I wish I could still play with some of those lads. But sure, like, I still play with Aaron, like, and I think I'm playing with Aaron in the Grand Social at some stage next year, either as part of a band or as an opening act or something like that. But that's not guaranteed. I probably shouldn't have said that. But look,
it's all what ifs here and stuff.
It's exclusive. I think everything's so up in the air at the moment with COVID. We don't even know if there's going to be a gig in the next year. Like,
Sure, we don't know about that in the next 10 years. But going back to that previous band where you and the other songwriter had different approaches to music and what you wanted to write, would you say you're writing that same music that past you would have wanted to write?
I would say, yeah, the same music I wanted to write. I would say definitely, because at the time I wasn't writing that great. Like, I was kind of still only in my first couple of months of writing songs. Like, I've been playing guitar for coming up to 5 years now, so I'm not the most experienced guitarist in the world. And he's playing guitar much longer. He's like level 8, like, brilliant guitarist, like, and he's a lovely guy. Like, I don't have a bad word to say about him. It was just two different types of music we wanted to make, and the music we did make was good, but we kind of just were seeing things differently, and he wanted to do certain things one way, I wanted to do certain things a different way, and that's totally cool, like, and yeah, I'd say I am writing the music that I wanted to write. Like, I still kind of want to move away from, and this is nothing against this type of songwriting, but I don't want to be like sad boy acoustic singer songwriter. I want to kind of write like indie rock music, like, and that's what this next single is. Like, it's a rock song, it's a band, it's a guitar solo. It's get up and dance, like, whereas Live My Life was depressing. It was depressing. It was a bit depressing, but that's fine as well. Come here, look, we're all, no matter what, I'm always going to write depressing songs, like, because at the end of the day, I get depressed at the end of the day. Everybody does. Yeah. And it's something to relate to, and, like, whether I release depressing songs or not, I don't plan to, but, if the right song comes, like Live My Life, if the right song comes along, I'm going to release it. Sure. And Picnic in the Sunshine is kind of a very mellow vibe. It's like, I like to think of it as, like, a hopeful song where, like, it starts off very low and slow, kind of like, and this is one of the reasons I wanted to release it in this order of Live My Life being acoustic, and then Picnic in the Sunshine starts off acoustic and then builds up to this big climax, and then we're continuing that big climax into the next song, which is Fallen Flowers, which, as I said, I'll play for you later on.
Yeah, I remember listening. You were pushing Picnic in the Sunshine really heavily, and I was like, yeah, no, let me pre-save it, and then I made an entire playlist. So I was like, I'll make it a playlist for like all the Irish towns I listen to. I'll hop on, I'd listen to that one song, and maybe like one or two other songs. Emily 7 took off all their songs off Spotify. Yeah. So it's just you, Ja 1, and whatever.
Their new mix of Stay is great though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great. I'm really looking forward to. Are they re-releasing the rest of the album? Do you know?
I don't know. I haven't spoken to Kyle and Jamie in a while. I was chatting to Scott a while ago, but I wasn't chatting to him about the band sort of stuff. I'm not sure what they're doing, but yeah, come here. Look, they're nice guys. I think Kyle's a really good songwriter, and the difference in the two releases of Stay are night and day. Like, it sounds great. Like, it's amazing.
Back to what I was saying. I remember listening to the song Picnic in the Sunshine. I was like, oh yeah, this is what I was expecting from Shaun. A nice mellow, chill. And then it seemed like more of a jump than it actually was, because I wasn't expecting it at all.
Yeah, well, this is it. That's why I wanted to release it.
It was a full on like tonal shift in like one of the best ways.
Chorus,
I was like, yo, okay, this is like bumping. So that's the kind of music you want to.
Yeah, so I'd be happy. So it's more the next song is the kind of like continuous vibe I want to keep up, like, because I think it's a very typical thing for, and like, again, the reason I did release Live My Life when I released it was it's a very typical thing for anybody who's a solo artist to, like, like I said, a sad boy singer songwriter, like, And I had to think of this from a tactical point of view as well. Like, people are going to expect this of me. So give them what they expect first and, like, satisfy. And, I was very lucky the song got in the charts. It peaked at number 13 in the charts. Oh. And it was amazing. Like, I remember I was in work the day that song came out. So I released it. I was in work at 6 a.m. So I released the song. It was live. I went to sleep at about 1 a.m. Woke up at 5. Went to work. And I don't look at my phone and work at all. Like, I'm not even, like, I'm only ever really on my phone if I'm doing stuff for promotion and that sort of stuff. I don't like to really be glued to my phone. And so I got my break about 9:30, 10. And again, like, I checked the streams. Yeah, it was doing fine. It had about, I think by 9 a.m. I had about 50 streams or something like that. And I was like, okay, this is good. And then when I went back up, my phone was hopping. My phone was going mental. And I was like, who's ringing me? Is my phone bill due in 3 or after me or something like that? And then I got off my shift, and the amount of texts that I had received saying that they'd heard my song on Today FM and that, it had done so well. And I put a post up on Facebook, and then, like, I just on my personal page, just because I hadn't released that, and I said, well, like, my grandmother's friends, who I'm friends with, will give it a listen or a buy on iTunes or something like that. And yeah, it ended up peaking at 13 in the charts, and it was a solid start, like, one of my friends did warn me, my friend Lewis from Manchester. He was like, "Now, be prepared for the second release to not do as well off the bat." And to be fair, like, I always want to set myself the same goal. So when I released Live My Life, I said I'd love to get 50 streams in the first day and then 100 by the end of the weekend. As a debut single, as somebody who doesn't have a massive following, who hasn't been playing live because there's been no gigs, I was like, if I got 50 to 100 streams in the weekend, that'd be great. And I got 100 streams in less than 24 hours. And I was like, okay, that's fantastic. It'd be crazy if it got to 150 by Sunday, and then it got to 200. Oh. And I went, oh wow, okay. And then I stopped setting expectations for it. I said, right, well, this isn't my song anymore. This is everybody's song.
This is Ireland's song.
This is Ireland's. On the vein, I live my life. But yeah, so I was just like, right, grand, let's turn our focus to Picnic now. So I started producing Picnic. And the one thing where I fell short, and it was only after I uploaded, because if you don't know, you got to upload your songs to Spotify a bit before it's released. So I was putting them up about 2 weeks beforehand. And I think with Picnic I put it up about 2 to 3 weeks. So it was up early, because I basically released Live My Life, spent the week promoting Live My Life, and then went straight into producing Picnic. And Picnic came out on the 6th of November. I think I had it up on Spotify around the 15th, somewhere between the 15th and the 20th. I spent about 10 days to 2 weeks producing it all the time. And while I do enjoy it, there's some small things I would do differently, and just it was a lesson. It was a curve that I needed to get past of don't rush things, because I listen back to it now, and like I can listen to it on the bus and not bother, but when I listen to it from a very critical point of view of a musician and a producer, I kind of say I could have done this a little bit better. Now, not that it's like I'm not going to take it down anytime soon. I think it's fine. I think it's a decent song. I like the guitar. If I really get hyped up about the outro to the song, because I love the little guitar outro, I love the little harmony that's in the middle of it. There's just some small things that I would do differently that I've learned from this, and it was when I got the advice for Fallen Flowers, and then I heard that, I said, hold on, no, let's not release the EP just yet. Let's hold off a minute. Let's take our time. Let's not rush things, because it'll pay off in the long run. But it was a learning curve, and I was always going to make mistakes along the way. And I always said to myself, I've been writing songs for about 2 years, and I always said to myself, I'm not going to do that or release that unless it's my best. And I did feel when I was producing Picnic, this is my best. But it was only kind of after I had taken advice on from other people and really honed in and listened to it, and I kind of went, yeah, actually, hold on a minute.
That's usually the case with like a lot of songs, like pretty much any media in general. If you look at it with a critical eye, nothing is as good as it seems, except for the odd one or two, 1 in quintillion pieces that might be better than they seem, but they're usually not perceived that good to begin with.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So you've taken all these extra strides to improve your music, and in the meantime, I've noticed you have been promoting your current song, "Picnic in the Sunshine," a lot more, especially on like Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah.
Has that gotten you any more traction?
Yeah. So like I'm at over half a century streams on Live My Life. And Live My Life had a massive, big boom at the start as it was my debut. And I was expecting that. And like I said before, one of the pieces of advice my friend Lewis gave me was don't expect the same for the second one, because the second one's always going to do worse. And I was like, yeah, okay, I was expecting that. And even still, I set the same expectations as for Picnic. If it gets 50 in the first day and 100 by the end of the weekend, I'll be happy. Got 120 in the first day, and I got almost 200 by the end of the weekend. But then it kind of died off. Like, instead, Live My Life had like a constant flow of, it was getting 15 to 20 streams a day. And then, like, you know, as I stopped promoting it and as I stopped kind of being in people's faces, it did die down, and it took it got to like 415 very quickly, and then it took a while to go from 415 to 475, and then I said, hey, we're nearly at half a century, and then it kind of boomed up again. It's well, I'm not sure what the exact number on it is now, but it's about 530, 540, something like that in terms of streams, which is good for a debut single. Like, you know, I'm happy with that. And then when it came to Picnic, Picnic is now almost at it's somewhere around 230, so it's almost at 250. So I might kind of in a few days be like, hey, go give it a listen. We're nearly at a milestone. And that sort of stuff. But I have been trying to get better at using TikTok, because I think I watch TikToks all the time. Like, I'm not afraid to admit it. I watch TikToks daily. I think it's really good fun. I think it's great crack. I was never really into Vine that much. Like, I knew of Vines, obviously, and like, you'd see the compilations on Facebook, and yeah, I used to watch them all the time. But I never downloaded Vine and went into it. And TikTok, I really enjoy, and it's a way for people who don't follow me to see my stuff, because it's very easy to get on an algorithm in that by just using the right hashtags and just creating the right kind of content. Like, you know, so I'm just trying to be a bit funnier on that. Like, I take Instagram kind of a bit more formally and a bit seriously, like, you know, just because that's my main source for a platform. Like, that's where I've got the most followers. That's where, you know, people are going to hear news from me. So I try and take that a little bit more serious. Whereas Twitter and TikTok, I don't take it as seriously. And I try, especially with TikTok, to be a bit funnier. And even something I do on Twitter, it's a bit annoying. I'm not going to lie, it's a bit annoying, but I think it's funny. So if you're on Twitter, you know, that you can go into the search bar and type in a certain thing, and it will bring up. So say I looked up pizza. It's not going to bring me Domino's. It's not going to bring me Pizza Hut. It's going to bring me tweets with the name with pizza in it. So, I really want pizza. This pizza is amazing, and highlight the word pizza. So I go in and I search, what's the name of this song? Hit search, and anyone that doesn't have a reply, I copy and paste my Spotify link into it and say, here it is, and then send it off. If you go into my Twitter, you see on my replies, I do this like once or twice a week, and I've not gotten many positive replies, not gonna lie. I had an Asian stan, like, you know, them BTS guys,
K-pop stan.
Yeah, K-pop stands. I had a K-pop stan, and I replied to it, and she went mad at me. She went mental, and she was like, you should kill yourself and you should do this, and she started going ballistic, and I was like, what the hell's going on here? This is mad. Like, you know, it was like, alright, I was just trying to promote my music, and like people would just be like, no, please don't. And I'm just like, respect the hustle, and they're like, no. But they're like, that's I'm trying to make funnier TikToks now as well, like, you know, just like I said, it's an easy algorithm to kind of jump into, like, you know, and get a following on. Like, you know, I'd say every time I post one of them videos, I'm probably gathering an extra 2 or 3 followers each time, like, you know, which is good, like, you know.
Yeah, that's
more than getting on Instagram every time I post.
It's a constant growth, and anyways. Last question before we go into the music. Are you planning, obviously regardless of COVID or whatever, do you have any live shows that you're thinking about doing, basically?
Yeah, so as I kind of hinted at before, I was in contact with Aaron and his band Ringside Theatre about maybe doing a support slot there. This will probably be posted and all by the time this goes out, but I'm playing a gig on this Thursday, so today it's a Monday. I'm playing a gig this Thursday, but it's going to be a live stream, and it's going to be recorded and kind of up to the same standards that Live My Life video was recorded to, like, so really good high quality production. So I'm playing that. I think I might be playing in Manchester next year. Maybe it's a big maybe. It's a big maybe. My friend Lewis has got a gig over there, and we're kind of talking about it. I'm going over to Manchester in January anyway to go and record and write some songs with him, so I'm really excited about that. And he had a show that was supposed to happen last June, and it still keeps getting pushed back. I feel sorry for him because he's a great guy. He's also amazing. If he's looking for some really good lo-fi chill music, he's amazing. But yeah, we're kind of. It's all very circumstantial because he's already got his support acts booked and all, so it's kind of all dependent. But there's a chance that could happen, and then with the college now, there's always a chance I'll be playing in Workman's. Kind of depend on what the situation is like. But I'd like to do like a headline set somewhere, like, I think somewhere that'd be cool too is when I was 17, I used to work in a pub, and that was kind of like my first gig because I worked in a pub as a waiter. So I'd go around, pick up my tips and blah blah blah, yourself. And there was one night, wasn't too busy, it was a bank holiday, and we had some guy come in, he had his guitar and blah blah blah, and I was only playing guitar just over a year maybe at this stage. So all I was playing was basic chords, and I could barely, I didn't know how to sing correctly either, I know how to sing correctly now. And so I was in there with him, and I just got chatting to him, I was bringing him his points and blah blah blah, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll play guitar. So I was like, do you want to jump up and play a song? Yeah, go on, fuck it, yeah. And I jumped up and I done 2 songs. They were both covers, obviously. I hadn't written any songs at that stage. But that went well, and yeah, I think that would be a pretty cool thing to be like. This would be my first gig because it's in my hometown. It's only about 10 minutes away from my house, and everybody knows where it is. I think that would be pretty cool. It'd be very circumstantial, depending on. And then I'd like to do like the kind of pub that my mates would go to. Because they're different pubs, so I'd like to do that pub, which is a bit smaller, then maybe take a step up and do another pub that we would all go to every once in a while. I don't drink anymore, so I wouldn't be a regular pub goer. But anytime they're saying, I just want to go for a drink, that's where we'd go. So I'd like to do that pub as well. I don't want to name the pubs just in case.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to. I don't know.
I don't know either. Unless they come to us and ask for promotion, then I'm more than welcome.
Get a free Carvery.
Yeah.
I love Carvery. Anybody who knows me will know I'm obsessed with Carvery. I love a roast beef. But yeah, so I'm hoping, if we're allowed to do gigs next year, hoping to do at least 1 or 2 headline sets, and then I'd like to get a couple of support sets done as well. I'd like to start playing in bars a lot more. So I'm in my final year of college now anyway. So I'd like to start being playing in pubs and playing in bars and just kind of getting a scene and kind of get people's heads turning and going, what's that? And maybe start, working as part of a band with a couple of lads, whether that's under a band name or just under my own name as, my backing band sort of situation. I'm up for art, I'm kind of easy going and stay with the flow of things, so, yeah.
Fair enough. So do you want to play us out with a nice little jam there?
Fine.
Lovely. Alright. Yes. So if you want to just introduce the song or whatever, I'll turn on my mic and let you have the stage.
Okay, cool. So thank you very much to Keith for having me in. This song is called Fallen Flowers. It's my next single. Hopefully by the time you listen to this is out. If not, it'll be out very soon. Keep an eye on my socials at Finstagram on Instagram and Shaun Finn 99 on everything else. This song is Fallen Flowers. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you, Keith, for having me.
No problem.
And yeah, we'll see you soon. Watching you walk by, but it doesn't look safe for you in those shoes. Would you run away? What would you do? 'Cause I can't watch you do this anymore. There's a sound coming around the hallway, but I don't know if you can hear the echo. There's a creak in your bed sheets, but I'm not sure if it's wanted. 'Cause I can't tell where you're coming from, and I can't tell you it's right or wrong. I don't know if you ever want to see me as your friend, 'cause I can't cope with losing one again. can't cope with losing